Okay, good morning, good morning, good morning. I wanted to come on this morning and do a readout because I heard this on Sirius XM last week in Joe Madison. I listened to him on channel 126, Sirius XM, and he was sharing this, and he said, those of you who have podcasts or other types of social media, please share this with people because people are walking around just so scared of this upcoming midterm election. And so I just want you to know, like he said, all Republicans aren't thinking in this MAGA way. They're not. There are some sensible Republicans who are looking at things like they really, really are in this world. And they know that democracy is fragile right now. I cannot tell you how many times I have ran into people that just say, I'm scared. I'm scared that this midterm is going to put the power in the hands of people who are really going to take us down. And you know, people can sit back all they want to and try to make this a one issue thing and talking about abortions. And they baby killers, and they when people want their way, they make up stuff. And one of the things is this far right religious group don't understand that a lot of these young people, and I'm telling you because I talked to them, they are not in agreement with this. This election is going to separate and has already started separating families because young people just not on that same train as these older people who have been around a while, been Republicans, and now all of a sudden they're just going along because of one man. You might say Trump not on the ticket, but he really is on the ticket. He's got people in place. They're there to help him get back in place. And this is why these election deniers are doing everything that they possibly can to get in these positions, to get positioned in these. And I'm not just talking on a federal level. I'm talking about state and local. Because they are going to do his bid. He is still their leader. Many of them. But many have left the party because they do not believe in all this stuff that this far right group is doing. They want to take one issue. See, people got issues being, and I tell you, I know it to be a fact. They are selective about what they want to hammer on in the Bible and stand on. And then there's those things that they just ignore. That's what you call selective Christians. They have a selective belief when it impacts somebody else they feel worse than them. So we have got to not allow that to cloud our minds and get out here and vote. Because let me tell you, they got everybody on the chopping block. I read it. Go back to my readout number 1. And the things that they want to destroy, and Social Security, this is what I can't understand about some of these older people that's getting out here supporting these people. Social Security, that's going to be the first thing they attack. And you know what? That puts veterans in there. So you getting your veterans benefits right now. When they go after Social Security, that's going to impact you too. Since these veterans want to run over there and support a party that's ready, willing to take things from them because they feel like they're untouchable. And let me tell you something. I'm speaking as God speaks through me and has guided me through this entire process since I've been in this thing as a part of the campaign with candidate King. And he's on the ticket. And he wants to do right by everybody. He has went across this county speaking to everybody. Republicans, Democrats, Independents. He's been in the company of everybody. And you know what? Let me tell you something. People can say what they want to. He doesn't have to prove or say another thing, because he has proved to so many people. I know, because I talk to people that don't know him and they know me. Or there's people that see me in different places and have saw me on social media, whether it was TikTok or Facebook or on my YouTube channel, my podcast. And they will ask me, do you think he can win it? I sure hope he wins it. And let me tell you something. You might think small of Electra James Inspirational Talks, because I just have 5,714 viewers. But listen, when Candidate King came on and began to do conversations with the candidates, and God led me to pass the mic, let me tell you something. Him alone being on there increased my viewers by 2,714. Him coming on and people tuning in because he had something to say. He has a vision. And there are many out there. Beto has a vision. Here's the thing. We can't get sidetracked. We cannot get sidetracked. We cannot get distracted. The polls won't say what the polls gonna say. My thing is, who are they polling? Because they sure didn't poll me and a lot of other people. And this is, I'm saying to you this morning what I've said to others. Do not be distracted. I know you guys got other things that you got to do. I know y'all going to be celebrating the Astros down there in Houston. I know all of that. I'm not crazy. But don't you let that celebration take you away from getting to them polls starting tomorrow morning at 7 o'clock a.m. to 7 o'clock p.m. We got some great men on these ballots. We really do. We've got some great men on this ballot. And Candidate King is one of them. Because he never took advantage of voters. Every vote he receives, he has earned it. And I found it to be an honor to be a part of his campaign. I'll forever be grateful. And I don't know how God's gonna fix this thing. I really don't know. But I will say this. He has done everything he could possibly do. Everything. And over the last week, his opposition has started to go on his Facebook campaign page and leave messages asking people to vote for him. That's disrespectful. I don't care how you cut that cake. That's disrespectful. To go on your opposition page and leave the messages that he leaves to ask people to vote for him. That shows so much unsureness of yourself. Because if you thought you had it in the bag, because you told him you didn't have to debate him because your constituents would automatically put you there. You don't think much of your own constituents. Because you think little of them. You know why? Because you feel like you've got them so brainwashed. Just because you got an R in front of your name. They go, and some of them will. But I'm going to tell you something, some have changed the course. And I'm on TikTok, and I know people that say, I was a Republican, but this MAGA thing got to be too much for me. I can't do that. And when they fix that party, I'll go back to my party. But I can't do that. But you guys still have that group that will go all the way, and they know it's wrong. You better think about it while you're around here trying to use abortion as an issue. I'm just because, oh no, we can't do that. But I'm telling you something. It's going to be a whole lot of us down around here when you ain't got no money and end up on the streets because you got to pay your way through life. I don't care. You've earned that. Everybody that get that Social Security have earned it. Veterans have earned it. They got parents who are dealing with disabled children. They got adults who are disabled themselves. Let me tell you, it's a lot of people going to rise up. So don't be afraid. You get up and go cast that ballot tomorrow if you have not already. Do not let nothing distract you from getting up tomorrow, getting out there and voting. Before I get off here, and the reason why I really came on was because I wanted to do this readout. Okay? It's going to take me a little bit, but I'm going to get through it. I wanted to put this other information out front. But listen to me closely, y'all. This came from Juan Williams. You can look it up, look him up. Juan Williams. And he was on the Fox News channel. But a Republican, let me tell you. Let me read this right quick. He said, I don't get it. Turn on the TV news, open a paper, and the stories are all about the midterm polls, debates, and the political horse race between Republicans and Democrats. Am I missing something? How is it possible for any reporter to pretend this is just another election when 71% of voters in a recent New York Times poll said democracy is at risk? Here is another mystery to me. Voters say inflation, not the threat to democracy, is their first concern. How can anyone close their eyes to the big picture? A threat to our nation's political stability, the cornerstone of American democracy. A stable democracy is the basis of our economic future. But the country took another lurch toward instability in the early hours of Friday when an intruder at the San Francisco home of Speaker Nancy Pelosi attacked her husband Paul with a hammer. An incredible 67% of Americans fear extremists will commit acts of violence after the election. According to a recent Reuters Opsis poll, blind to this alarming reality, reporters are busy constantly pushing voters into traps of distraction created by Republicans peddling baseless conspiracies about election fraud. Why not pull the mask off of their scary ads about crime and immigration, full of racist winks and anti-Semitic vibes? How do reporters miss the alarm sounding when 10 candidates for Secretary of State are running on a platform of casting doubt upon the proven outcome of the last election? In total, there are around 300 Republican candidates echoing the lie. What about the threat to democracy? When, according to the Pew Trust in North Carolina and other states, far-right activists have gone door to door asking residents to sign legal documents attesting they are registered to vote at their address. How is it possible for reporters to miss that 41% of Republicans in a New York Times poll say they have little to no faith in accuracy of this year's midterm elections? A Monmouth University poll, a Monmouth University poll from September found 61% of Republicans believed that voter fraud was possible for Biden's victory in 2020. In the Times poll, 84% of those Democrats who believe U.S. democracy in general is under threat said former President Trump posed a major threat to its survival. That's not a matter of opinion. It is a conclusion based on the reality of delusional thinking dominating one party. The damaged state of the GOP should be at the top of every newscast, every front page, every voter's mind, every day before the election. I'm almost done. The nation is facing a threat to its constitutional form of government. That history is the basis of global corporate trust in our legal system and the root of America's economic strength. All of that is at risk. If America's political stability breaks, so too does our military strength at a time when Russian and Chinese authoritarian leaders are a threat to world peace. How can reporters act as if the House Select Committee on January 6th never documented with sworn testimony from some Republicans that the former president plotted a violent attempt to overturn the last presidential election? He failed because there were enough Republicans of integrity. He failed. Let me say that again. Because there was enough Republicans of integrity in positions of power who refused to go along with the plot. These midterm elections are a continuation of that coup attempt as Trump tries to replace Republicans who believe in democracy with those who are only about political loyalty to him. What happens in 2024 if Trump is on the ballot and more officials agree to back up his bogus charges of a stolen election? When Trump famously called up the Republican Secretary of State in Georgia and asked him to find enough votes to tip the state to him, Brad Raffensperger refused. In 2024, if Trump makes a similar call to the new Republican secretaries of state in Nevada, Arizona, and other states, will they comply? If 2024, let me say that again. If in 2024, if Trump makes a similar call to the new Republican secretaries of state in Nevada, Arizona, and other states, will they comply? Jim Marchant, the GOP nominee for Secretary of State in Nevada, is a fervent election denier who has accused a shadowy Campbell of rigging the results. This is subversion of democracy by a witch's brew of lies, tribalism and misinformation. So many Republicans swallowed the big lie. It is now easy for them to embrace smaller lies as a show of belonging to the tribe. Why wouldn't they? They see that Republicans elected officials who lie with impunity are rewarded, while those who tell the truth, like Representative Liz Cheney, Republican Wyoming, are punished. If you believe the 2020 election was a fraud, then why not alone when a talking head lies about a historic crime wave sweeping over Democratic-run states and cities? Trump fans don't want to hear that the murder rate in New York State, for example, is lower than in 19 of the 25 states that Trump won. Save the AUKUS partnership. Share the 8-21 bomber. Yes, Ron DeSantis can beat Donald Trump in GOP primary. There is a threat to America from Republicans loyal to Trump and his lies. His loyalties see no problem with blaming the press for accurately reporting there was no fraud in 2020. That is the real story of the 2020 midterms. I got the document right here. Right here. I'm not just reading anything. I printed it off. This is Juan Williams from Fox News, who is warning us about this upcoming midterm election on tomorrow. Playoffs is tomorrow. And Thursday and Wednesday, we will find out who made it to the Super Bowl. In other words, who made it to power, to have power. And I don't know how much I can say this. People, get out here and vote. This here is someone from the Republican Party. Look him up. Juan Williams. And that's why I'm telling you, everybody don't go along with this. Everybody don't go along with what's happening. That's why when I'm on TikTok and I get thousands of viewers on TikTok, because people over there are hungry for information. And over there, you are called a creator because you got to put facts out there. Because let me tell you something. On TikTok, they come at you and they ask you, where did you get that from? You got to be able to prove that. So people people do stuff on TikTok. I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm talking about what I do and what I've seen other people do. And I can tell you this, 36% of the Democrats used the TikTok platform, that app, to get information out there because you know why? That's the app that young people look at. That's why I got so many followers over there. That's why I get so many people viewing my material. Almost 6,000 people. Because people are looking for information. People are looking for facts. People are tired of all this just people throwing them anything. Terrestrial TV, turn that thing off because all they do is have you in doom and gloom and feeling like life is over and everything is going to go to people that don't care about your interests. Listen, get yourself through tomorrow. Find something. Once you have voted, encourage others to get out there and vote. But also, don't go home and turn that TV on and start looking at all that news because they will have you scared to death. There is Wednesday. Wednesday will come and we will find out. And one way or the other, let me tell you something, we're going to have to deal with it. So vote. Juan Williams, look it up. Juan Williams. And you will see. This man is a Republican, but he's not going to vote for these people that want to take this country in a rabbit hole, and they going after everybody. Not just one person, not just one group, everybody. It started with women, just like it did back with Hitler. It started with women, taking rights from women. And then they end up taking rights from everybody. And we are on track to that. So I'm not going to take no more of your time this morning. Those of you, I know people are still getting themselves together this morning. Please, people, get ready. Get ready for tomorrow. Get ready. Stay calm. Commit to vote. And they have to give you 2 hours to vote. If you're working, they give you you get 2 hours to go vote. So if you haven't voted and you got to go to work, let your employer know, I haven't voted yet. I need to vote. They give you 2 hours to vote. And yes, 71% believe that democracy is fragile. And that is not all Democrats. That's independents, that's Republicans, and people are scared. Yes, they are. Because people want to holler about inflation. Well, when we no longer have democracy, that means you can't even vote no more. You don't even have a voice anymore. Inflation been around. It's going to go away. High gas prices, that happened before. Go back and look at research history. This is just a talking point these people have. But you cannot You can't sit this out. You cannot sit this out. This midterm, you cannot sit this out. You go vote tomorrow starting at 7 o'clock a.m. and get some friends and family and you tell people. Because guess what? Juan Williams, he's telling us, as a Republican, I can't vote for these people. Not right now. They got to fix this party. Because I know that the news should be talking more about what's really happening. What's really happening. Than just trying to bamboozle people and scare people that, oh, the Republicans got it. Oh, that's a tactic they've used for years. Make you stay at home. Don't you know 90% of these news stations are owned by Republicans? And those people are going to be all right because journalists make a lot of money. They going to be all right. But they will have you thinking the boogeyman got you. And there's nothing you can do about it. Well, I'm telling you, I want to see some touchdowns tomorrow. I'm on again, William King the third. I'm on his campaign. I know as of tomorrow, that's it. I know that. But I've had the ride of a lifetime being on William H. King the third campaign. I have had the ride of a lifetime. That has strengthened me. That has informed me and let me know there really are people out there who run clean campaigns. And he ran a clean campaign. And he cared about everybody that was on his campaign. Because that's who he is. I pray that God will bless him to be elected come tomorrow. Not just because I worked on his campaign. But you know what? Because he's concerned about the good for everybody in Galveston County. As Galveston County judge, he wants to work with everybody. Democrats, Republicans, independents, everybody. And when I tell you, y'all think Beto will be going all across this state of Texas. Kennedy King is right there with him. He been all across Galveston County, meeting with people, talking and educating people. And I have heard a lot of young people, I'm going to say this and I'm going to get off. They say he cool. But you know what? Outside of just being cool, yes, because that's young people language, our Gen Zs. Outside of that, he's honest. He's fair. And he believes in the people of Galveston County. That they will do the right thing. They will do the right thing to help get somebody in place that's going to help move democracy forward. I'm so serious about this. And it's not just about Galveston County. It's about the United States of America. Our southern states, North Carolina, Louisiana, Mississippi, Florida, Tennessee, Alabama, people rise up. Let me tell you, because on TikTok, they're crying out for you to get out there in these southern states, right along with us in Texas. We got to fight for what we want. If it's us versus them, who you think gonna win? That's on you. If it's us versus them, who you think gonna win? Those who stand up for right or those who stand up for wrong? Who you think gonna win? All right? Let's get ready to rumble tomorrow. Gonna trust God in the process. Thank God for each of you that have tuned in this morning. And I pray to God that you have voted or you have made plans to vote tomorrow if you have not voted in the early election. Let me say this before I get off too. I need to let you know, and I know it has increased since last night, so I'll post some numbers later. But listen, we have 41 million. This is national. 41,348,158 who have already cast ballots. 94% were mail in, and then 6%. I'm sorry. 94% in person. Let me go back and get those numbers because I think they changed. But we do have more in person than we have mail in. So I want to go in and get the updated numbers on that. But we do have 41,348,158 who have already voted nationally. Let's get out here and get your Gen Zs out. Your Gen Zs is 18 to 29. That's your Gen Zs. We need them. We need their vote. Tell them to get in this football game. We can win. Tomorrow is the playoffs. Tomorrow is the playoffs, people. Okay? And Wednesday, we're going to find out who's going to the Super Bowl. You want to go to the Super Bowl? I want to go to the Super Bowl. All right? Y'all have a wonderful rest of the day. Bye-bye.